20. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri, here to talk about the Wednesday Night Wars, AEW on TNT versus NXT on USA. Pretty big night for both shows in the sense that they stacked the cards. Ebbs and flows. I'm sure there are a lot of stuff to critique. Matt Morgan, overall, what'd you think of tonight's shows?
Loved it. And this is why I love Wednesday nights, because now I get to go back and pay more attention to the other shows that I'll admit, like AEW stole my attention a lot tonight.
Yeah.
And then at times NXT stole my attention a lot. So I like going back after we're done with the show because we get our first reactions right away. And then I always go back and I watch some of the other stuff that maybe I wasn't paying too close attention to because one of the other shows stole my attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it was awesome. It was awesome. Loved it.
I don't even think there was much to steal. Raj, it felt to me like after that opening announcement on NXT, they were saying, hey, if you want to flip over to TNT for a while, just check back in periodically throughout the night, but you're good.
Yeah, I thought NXT crapped the bed for the first hour by not having that announcement in the ring, making it seem like a big deal. They just blew it off in a quick video package. That was 2 minutes and then Regal announcing how the new champion will be decided. Make it a big deal. Have it in the ring. I guarantee you'll do a lot better in the ratings with that than the Dexter Lumis Killian Dane match. So
Can't even remember his name.
Yeah, Killian Kane.
Kennedy Kane.
Yeah, so I just thought it was a weak way to get the title off of Lee and announce, this five-way, the triple threats that are leading to the five-way at TakeOver. But outside of that, I thought NXT finished super strong. I loved the Dijakovic, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross ending. It was very Rocky IV. Yes. I tweeted that. It was awesome. I think AEW, I thought was super easy to watch. It was super entertaining. But I thought as far as building a star, they've done, no promotion has done as good a job as WWE has been doing with Karrion Kross so far.
Superstar.
Yeah. And
So
the storytelling, just all aspects. And I thought, again, that build in that last 10 minutes of NXT was better than anything on either show as far as building a match.
I feel like they've almost let off the gas a little with Keith Lee because they're so on the Karrion Kross train now. I feel that, we all love Keith Lee, but doesn't Karrion already feel like the bigger star on NXT? He almost feels bigger than the North American title to me at this point.
I don't feel he's bigger than Keith Lee yet.
Really?
I don't. Maybe because I don't know if you guys see it, but I see this dude headlining WrestleMania 1 year. Keith Lee.
Okay, so to qualify my statement, Matt, I think because Keith Lee is such a baby face, I think not having the crowd there, the way the crowd would get behind him, right, and bask in his glory and all that, Karrion Kross, the brilliance of his gimmick, but the brilliance of Karrion's gimmick, Karrion actually looks more badass in an empty arena, lights lower. I think that in this environment, he seems more like a killer, literally, than Keith Lee.
Yeah. He obviously, Keith Lee is somebody that you want to go, have a meal with and shoot the
Sure.
bleep with, right? He's somebody you want to hang out with. Yeah, he's going to be a great babyface, which is hard to do at a man his size, but again, he's another one that I think defies that formula, which I've always told you guys. It's so difficult to get a big man over as a babyface because you don't get sympathy more times than not, especially with all these other super short talents they have on these rosters now. Wrestling's different than when I was there. So he's got all these tiny people that are going to be getting heat on in these matches when he gets called up, as for you, Justin LeBar, to Raw and SmackDown.
So, look, we're going to talk about AEW first, but let's just maybe discuss the big first hour story coming out of NXT, which is William Regal's big announcement. He had Keith Lee via Skype or Zoom or whatever doing this video and saying he's going to defend the NXT championship frequently and fiercely, but the North American championship, he's dropping it. And there's going to be the series of triple threat matches to determine the contenders who are going to have a ladder match at NXT TakeOver 30 1 month from today, the night before SummerSlam, to crown a new North American title champion.
Dude, okay, right off the bat, they make this title more important to me as a fan than I will argue either of the men's titles right now on Raw and SmackDown. I'm being dead serious. For what it's going to take for that person to win that title is already done a better job on making it feel important. There's high stakes, multiple matches to get there. You know what I mean by that?
You just gave it away. So this is like I was driving a Geostorm, and now I just got a BMW. And now, hey, I'm good with the BMW, little brother. I'm going to give you that Geostorm. It's all yours, buddy. It just feels like an afterthought if the champ is like, I'm setting it free. One of you, plebes, fight for my seconds.
So that's not what I mean by that. I mean by the Regal setting up what he set up. With a multitude of multi-man matches, say that 10 times fast, makes it feel important to me. It just does.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I do like that the multitude of multi-man matches makes it more unpredictable. But Glenn, I agree with you. Just dropping it, you had built up this title for title. Why have a title for title if the guy never defends that title and just drops it 2 weeks later?
Because they realize he can't afford to get pinned.
But you know what they could do? They could do a Charlotte Flair thing where it's a triple threat match and he doesn't get pinned, and the next, and someone else takes the title that way.
Yes. Okay.
But
yeah, why did they do that?
I know. That's what I'm saying. He literally just giving it away. Like it means nothing to me.
Yeah, they could say it. Yeah.
And no pop for a Geostorm, Matt? That was like the it car in the early 90s.
Geo Metro.
The Metro said like I have $5,000 to spend on a hatchback. That was a whack car. Yes.
Matt Morgan digress moment here. I worked for Enterprise Car Sales for a minute there, Stamford, Connecticut. That's the job I took so I could work next to WWE headquarters. Anyways, I could pick up the front end of a Geo Metro.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
Remember, I worked with a guy who had the Geo. What was the Jeep that they had? He had the Jeep. He thought it was like the coolest thing, and I was like, "Your Jeep costs $7,000. It's not that good."
I don't remember.
Yeah. So Jonathan Prado, $1.99 super chat saying the week title drop took me out of the whole show. Wow.
Darn. Wow, Jonathan. Jonathan's hot. Jonathan, if you're hot about it, say you're hot.
Yeah.
Justin Lopez, $5 saying, Warrior did the same with the IC title back in the day when he became double champ, so he had no problem with it. And Shining Wiz TV, $2 super chat saying, Cross is all hype, good entrance, hot girl, that's it.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
You think he's good in the ring?
I don't think he's great
good
in the
enough,
ring,
right?
But good enough, and he's got charisma, which is lacking with a lot of guys. The look and charisma is something that is really lacking in wrestling today.
It very much so is. I agree, because the guys are so set on memorizing all their spots. So they don't get their stuff opportunity to breathe, and that's where you get to see their characters in between the moves. I always tell you guys, that's where you see these character moments. Really quick, who do you think's better in the ring, Keith Lee or Cross?
Oh, Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Right? He's so good.
Yeah.
But Cross doesn't need to have a long match.
Right. You don't want Cross to be good in the ring right
Cross
now.
Cross is like a more competent Goldberg, I think, with his ring skills.
Yeah, you don't want him kicking out at 2 over and over again to just random nobody, to Johnny Gargano. You want him to be crushing people.
Matt, what's the longest match you ever had? Because as a big guy, it seems like your matches should be short.
Big time match, me versus Kurt Angle, Bound for Glory. That was a big test for me to do. It was supposed to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if it ended up being 20 or 17 or something like that. With 20 with entrances, I think. And I remember being really nervous about it. Like, guys, to tell you how serious I was taking it, I would go to my gym every morning, fasted, not eat anything in my stomach, right? And I would take a snorkel, put it in my mouth, put tape at the top of the snorkel, put a little pinhole in the top of it, and I gave myself a bootleg oxygen deprivation thing by making it difficult to do cardio without much oxygen.
Yeah.
And it worked. I was able to keep up for him, move for move. It was a big test for me at the time. Seriously.
Oh, I bet. Jonathan Prado, $1.99, saying AEW just feels like a better, smoother show.
No question.
I feel it just feels more lively with the lighting and the outdoor atmosphere and just the colors. You know, NXT is so drab with just the black and gold.
Week.
Yeah,
every week it's like this.
Yeah, in presentation, AEW smokes, in my opinion, all the shows right now.
Shout out to Real Marquise #1, who within a minute said the Geo Tracker was the Jeep. And Disco Scotty with a $5 super chat saying, we own 4 Geo Metros, still have 2 if you want to come over and lift them, Matt. So
I know Disco Scotty. Scotty, stop wasting money. You could just text me.
Hunter Davidson, $1.99, saying new 4 horsemen in Sean Spears, FTR, and Hangman, ?
Ooh. You guys don't dig that?
Not their Spears. No offense.
He needs something. He's so good. He looks like $1 million too. He's tall. He doesn't look like the rest of them.
He had Tully Blanchard's face on his balls, last month.
I know. Listen, I'm
out of
willing to
context,
forget
that's
it.
a hell of a statement.
He's got awesome ring entrance music.
Yeah, I think you need to build him for a while before putting him in that group, as opposed to using the group to build him. You know, I think Cody, FTR, and Hangman would be awesome.
Yeah.
David 3x $5 saying both are NXT and AEW are the best shows, but why does NXT get so much heat? Because it's on opposite AEW, and if they have a bad week, it's multiplied.
I mean, they both get heat. If AEW has a bad week, I mean, the 3 weeks that NXT won, if you looked online, NXT was getting the better reviews.
So go back to that comment real quick.
Yes.
If you could. So David, as you say that, David, there is somebody else out there right now saying the complete opposite to us right now.
Right.
So I'm just telling you, eyes in the beauty of the beholder.
Depending on your point of view, I'm either completely in the tank for AEW or WWE.
Right.
Who knows?
Right. Same here.
Manic Hispanic 16, $2 saying AEW had the better show by far. Sammy G is back. That was a big surprise at the end.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sammy.
So he's gone for about a month. It looks like
that's how long it takes apparently to get sensitive and trained. Skib Films 2, $5 Australian saying if you watch AEW Dark as well as Dynamite, then tonight shows just how amazing AEW does their storytelling with all the seeds they planted for weeks.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like for the big stories, and by the big stories, I mean they're going to get to Cody and to MJF and John Moxley, and they're building MJF great. They've been building that Hangman Page, Kenny Omega split for a while, assuming that's going to happen, and if it does, that's another really good storyline. But outside of that, there's nothing else really strong story-wise.
Okay, so I've been disappointed lately how they've been building MJF. Actually, I don't like seeing him sitting in the crowd. He should never, ever be in the crowd. Ever. He would never be caught dead in that crowd. Even if like Tony Khan demanded it in his contract or something, he would not. There's no way he'd blow his nose with that contract. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be, too cool for all that stuff. Anyways, makes him look like less of a star. But what he's talking about in his comment, Skib Films, right? He's right, because I do watch I watch all the YouTube clips on Being the Elite on AEW's YouTube as well. I follow all their stuff on social like a complete mark. So I do like how they layer and stack everything. Granted, to Raj's point always that nobody else is watching that stuff. So not enough people are to understand a lot of the innuendos and things you do see on those YouTube shows.
Yeah, so here's the question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What happens first? Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega, the turn happens. Does that happen first or Sasha versus Bayley?
Ooh.
Because these are both taking their sweet time.
They are. I'm going to say Kenny and Hangman, right?
Okay.
I almost think Sasha and Bayley might happen next week.
Wow.
You said something on Twitter about that I saw the other day.
Yeah, I think because they're doing Sasha versus Asuka. I think Bayley costs Sasha, and they get the wheels turning, and then they do that SummerSlam match.
It's quite a quick build. So let's talk about AEW Dynamite on the TNT network. Tonight, we opened up with Cody defending the TNT Championship against Eddie Kingston. So for those who don't know, Raj, who is Eddie Kingston, and why were so many people excited about his participation in this match?
I know who he is. Why don't you ask me?
All right, well, to you first, Matt.
Yeah, okay, Matt. You
Eddie Kingston was really, really hot on the Indies for quite a while. Got a break on Impact. Did an amazing job there. He's a money promo. One of the best promos I've seen, quite frankly. He's straight from the heart, straight from the gut on all his promos. You feel him every promo. And then he moved on to, what do you call it, with Billy Corrigan.
NWA.
NWA. He did pretty well there. I still thought he was too big to be there, quite frankly. He's really good. He's got to get himself in a little bit better shape, but his promos just, I love him. I like him. He's a good guy too. He's a worker.
Oh yeah, sorry, Matt.
That's it.
I was gonna say, could you imagine if Karrion Kross could cut a promo like Eddie Kingston? Like if you had a wrestler that could do that,
bro, that would be our next Cena.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they had him cut a promo.
That promo was just amazing that he cut tonight, and I had forgotten what a great promo he is. To your point, Matt, it just his ring attire, he just needs to change that up because he sounds like such a badass, and then he gets in the ring and he's got like an 80s jobber outfit on.
Yeah, look kind of like Underoos, at least the black and gold.
Yeah.
Cool Underoos. I mean, if I was like 10, they would have been super over. But still,
he was just awesome here, I thought.
Good promo, good match. I mean, Cody obviously won via submission, but I don't know. I mean, do you think they offer Kingston a contract based on this tonight?
Oh, I would hope so. And here's what I like about him as a Northeasterner myself.
Yeah.
You don't have many Northeastern promo guys in wrestling anymore, right? When you hear that thick Northeast accent, that street, you know what I mean? You hear it in him. He's just so raw, his promos. There's always straight fire. His promos are so damn good.
He was awesome. He was believable, and I think if they weren't going to give him a shot yet, he would have been on Dark. He would have made his debut on Dark. The fact that he did it here, I don't think they haven't had someone appear on Dynamite for their first match and not end up hiring them. I could be wrong. I might be missing one or two, but for the most part, if you're on Dynamite, you're getting a deal.
Yeah. But speaking of Dark, I'm sorry.
Real quick, when you guys get a chance, who's the short guy in Dark Order? John something. Short muscle guy?
Not Stu Gresham.
No, it's John. No, he's short. He's the shortest of them, noticeably. He's like 5'4", 5'5". He's so
John.
short.
Literally, his name is John Silver.
John Silver. Okay. When you guys get a chance, you got to check out him on Being the Elite. He is so funny. He's charismatic as hell. They need to use him. I know you guys think I'm nuts. To those that watch this show, that watch Being the Elite, tell me I'm wrong. He's hilarious. They're missing out on this kid.
Yeah.
So funny.
There you go.
Sorry.
Buddy Barlow,
Stu Grayson is what I meant.
Yes. Buddy Barlow, $2 saying Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, Diamante, book it. Speaking of people debuting, what did I read correctly that on Dark last night, a former NXT talent debuted on Dark last night?
Tino Sabatelli.
There you go.
Yeah, they just call him Sabby.
Good. He's a good guy. I know him. His brother's a cop here in Longwood. He's a good dude. I was disappointed to see him not get an opportunity on the main roster, at least. So hopefully he does something good here.
Yeah.
He looks like a zillion bucks.
He does. He has that star look.
Could have been a little nicer to me at Access in 2016. That's all.
I know. I remember.
So John Moxley cutting a promo. I like the intensity of this. I mean, it was short and sweet, but
wait, did we finish who won that match?
Yeah, we did. Cody via submission.
Okay.
Surprise! It was the other guy. No.
But what I liked about this is they didn't do the whole hug at the end and good match, and at least they broke away from that formula. And you shouldn't be doing that with Eddie Kingston. Should not be doing that with his character.
No, he'll cut you. Eddie Kingston's a gangster, dude. He's tough as hell.
And he's one of those guys. His character does not feel like it's a character. It feels like that's how he is. Because
right?
Yeah.
So Moxley's promo referencing the match last week, saying Taz did the right thing, throwing in the towel, and next time Moxley's not going to let go. Then we had MJF with Wardlow versus Griff Garrison, and I like this. What was he calling him? Jungle Boy, Jungle Man. I enjoyed this. I thought that it made a squash match more entertaining by having someone that he could roast by proxy.
What do you think of Griff?
Well,
what
but
did
that's
you guys
the problem.
think of Griff?
That's the problem, though. I think if you're out there and someone's referencing you as another wrestler, like that's Matt. Could you imagine if you were out there? I mean, I'm even trying to think but if they'd been calling you Big Show the entire time in the ring, you'd just been like, oh my God, how buried am I that I can't even get my name said, like, by my opponent here, you know?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Well, I mean, but this match was just to build MJF. I thought Griff, I actually think he looks like old school Jericho, like before WCW, if you see his old pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Was he one of the Jericho stand-ins at Double or Nothing? Remember?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's got a good look.
Yeah. He's super green. You can tell on his promo he sounded nervous as hell. But he's got potential. So, I mean, this isn't, it's like when Edge was getting squashed on WCW back in the early 90s. It's you get your experience in, disappear for a little bit, and then come back and be a star or get in the right storyline. But
yeah.
So of course MJF won this match.
MJF was so entertaining in this match.
Oh, it was great.
Getting the mic in the ring, because you'd see Rock doing commentary during his matches back in the day, but actually getting the mic in the ring and cutting a promo while you're wrestling, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, his stock continues to be on the rise. It's interesting. I mean, you guys saw the ESPN article today about Orange Cassidy, calling him like the breakout wrestler of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Send
it to me.
I tweeted it. It's on my Twitter. I was going to say, I think within 6 months, we could see MJF as champ and Orange Cassidy, MJF in a headline feud, given where their trajectories are going right now.
How? Eventually, this is going to get stale. I don't want it to. I love Orange Cassidy.
I agree. When I saw that closing angle, I was just like, ugh.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, could you really see that closing out WrestleMania?
No.
We shall see.
No.
Reference I don't get. Vape Ross Vape $2 saying Mad King 1981 needs a Johnny Bravo makeover. I just read it. I don't pretend to understand it. So after
Johnny Bravo, that's a Slammiversary. I think John E. Bravo is what he meant, which is a Impact reference.
I don't remember that. I do know that he's gonna spend another $2 to say what he really meant. I'll bet you guys $5 he does. All right, guys, sorry.
Josh Cardinez, $1.99. Imagine if they bring in Homicide with Kingston.
Ooh. Homicide's retired, right?
I don't know.
I always liked Homicide. He's a good dude. He's a good guy in real life. He got hurt a lot though when I was there at TNA. Shoulder was always massive, but he's a good promo dude.
Yeah.
Manic Hispanic 16 saying, can we talk about Archer's great ceiling spot? Gold. Well, we're getting to that.
Yeah, we're getting to it.
This vignette for Britt Baker. Tony Schiavone talking to Rebel about Britt Baker and how she's doing after the nose surgery. They showed more of that than I needed to see. But I liked
it kind of makes her sympathetic when she's a heel.
I'm good. It's like on the WWE backstage stuff where they show the shoulder surgeries and stuff. Like there are channels for that, and I don't watch those channels. I'm squeamish. But no, I thought this promo was good. After that, we had Taz talking about how Brian Cage and he had some issues after throwing in the towel, but cool heads have prevailed. And he says Cage has an FTW mindset. Now comes Darby Allin, gets in the ring. Ricky Starks attacks Darby from behind. Cage then powerbombs Allin twice on the stage, then powerbombs him in the ring. Starks picks up and plants Allin in the ring. Starks grabs the skateboard, gives it to Cage. Moxley runs out through the crowd with a barbed wire bat, chases off everyone. Commentary notes Starks looking to have a business relationship with Taz, and it was noted that Starks helped Cage out in last night's AEW Dark. So this was a good way to use Moxley and Darby.
Yeah. I feel like it waters Cage down a little bit, but We'll see. The one thing with the AEW Dark, they should show a highlight, before or after, because the majority of the people watching the show did not watch Dark. And it's not like it's making people want to, Dark's been on for a while, and it's not like the viewership is equal. And if you bring up YouTube viewers, that's way different than Nielsen rankings. If it takes me 6 viewings to watch Dark, that counts as 6 views. If I'm watching a wrestling show and then Dark automatically starts right after, and then I immediately shut it off, that counts as a view. And then it's international, not just US. Wow. So it's not. It's last night's Dark so far has 260,000 views on YouTube. Realistically, that's probably under 100,000 unique US people that were watching it.
Good breakdown there, Raj Giri. That's why they pay him the big bucks, folks.
The Raj Math. I should have a Raj Math section on this show.
Yes. Seriously, I didn't know that, what you just said. Is that how Facebook is, too?
Yeah.
If somebody watches, like, a video?
Yeah, or, Twitter, if you're scrolling through and there's a video playing, that counted as a view, even though you weren't watching it or you didn't turn the audio on.
So. Kind of crazy. So, women's tag team tournament, the Deadly Draw, coming this summer. 16 women, 8 teams in the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament for a cup.
This is good. No, this is good, though. They're going to feature... that's one thing I like about AEW. They do feature new female talent that I know I've never seen.
Sure.
Or heard of sometimes.
Sometimes like Abaddon, who then doesn't come back.
What the hell? Why is she... Tell me. Raj, what's the scoop?
I've got to assume it's some... maybe she's one of QT Marshall's students because they haven't been using him because he has COVID. And I know they've been having them quarantined for a couple of weeks. Because otherwise it makes no sense. I agree.
I mean, that was...
Too many people were talking about her not to bring her back, right, Glenn?
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, not just the year, but in recent memory, that was the best debut of a female talent. Maybe the best debut of a talent to us, to the world, because we didn't know who she was ahead of time. I'm saying they launched her the way they did that bait and switch with the setup with her opponent in the babyface promo. That was the best character introduction I could think of in recent memory for someone we didn't know was coming.
Awesome Kong was pretty good.
That was a great surprise, but we knew her. I'm saying this is someone that was brand new.
Oh, that was that. Okay.
This was the equivalent. Remember back in the day when on the radio you'd hear a song, you'd be like, "Who's that band? This is a great song." You knew nothing about it. Not like, "Here's the new Foo Fighters. Here's the new Nine Inch Nails." No, this was like, "Who is this artist? I now need to know everything about them."
Okay.
And they did nothing with it after. Jules Slinger 499 saying Cage looked weak again because of Taz's promo. I thought they'd make a change based on all the negative feedback. Let Cage speak.
Danny?
Cage is not the strongest promo.
Yeah.
Does he have a voice that doesn't match his body, or what is it?
I remember he sounds nice. He's a nice guy, and I don't think he knows how to get that intensity yet. Maybe, but in Impact, I always thought that was something that was missing. And he does the "Who better than Cage," the "Who better than Canyon" thing, and it just comes across as a monster like him should not be doing that.
He says, "Who better than Cage?"
Yeah.
What is he? Does he know Chris Canyon? Did he?
Yeah. I guess he considers him a mentor back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, then there you go. Then that works. Chris Canyon was a good guy. I love him.
The Outcast Kid, $1.99. I think Eddie should have won Spice/shock value. Yes.
I do love him. Okay, Outcast Kid, I love him. How hard did I just mark out over his promo? Same with Raj, right? By that same token, though. No, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're building this up. You want it to be a big deal, someone that's getting over big from it, not just... I don't see Eddie Kingston as someone they have big plans for in the near future. I mean, he could get there, but use it on someone like a Darby Allin or someone like that you've been, that's kind of on the threshold that can use it.
Vaporos Vape, $2 to clarify that he was referring to Johnny Bravo, Greg Brady's rock and roll persona.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Down the Brady
we all
bunch.
know the episode. I mean... Okay. Which is funny. When people talk about Johnny Bravo, that's normally not what they're referring to these days.
Right. Well, there's like 3 Johnny Bravos then. Because, right now in Impact, there's a guy named John E. Bravo.
I thought he was talking about Johnny Bravo, the cartoon.
Yeah, there's that too.
Justin Lopez, $5. Would you agree that Orange Cassidy's ceiling in WWE would be the 24/7 championship?
Yes.
For the record, I don't
Yes.
get Orange Cassidy and his popularity. Maybe I'm old.
Justin, when I discovered him, because I feel like I discovered him.
All you, buddy.
I did not discover, but the day I discovered who he was and whatnot, I went on this binge YouTube, just watching all the stuff. I was his biggest fan. I loved his shtick. I thought it was hilarious. But I got to be honest, I'm getting to the point now where I would not want to see it in the main event. You know, again, I will go back to the Jericho match. In the middle of his comeback, he stopped and did the stupid shin kicks. And it took everything, and brought everything down, which is not supposed to be happening in a comeback. In your comeback, everything is crescendo and crescendoing. Hits him with a big move. Boom. 1, 2, kicks out. You know what I mean? That's what the comeback was supposed to get to.
Yeah, I think having him, I agree, Matt. I think he's kind of a special attraction, but doesn't make sense in the main event picture. I feel like he needs to move away from Jericho. Him feuding with someone like Sammy Guevara or something like that could be cool, but when he's in the main event, I just think it kind of brings things down a little bit as far as credibility of the title. Jericho's, I feel like, is not as effective as he was just months ago. And we're seeing in the ratings, those segments haven't been doing that well.
So,
and real quick with the ratings, Orange Cassidy was doing well before he was in that feud with Chris Jericho.
Interesting.
And so, as was
Yes,
Jericho.
he was. Yes, he was.
So, wrestling enthusiast Matt is pointing out that GCWG Natty on Instagram has a custom figure of you, and I just called it up here. So let's take a look at the custom Matt Morgan figure. Check that out.
Thank you, wrestling enthusiast. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tell him
That's pretty
amazing
good.
job. That's awesome. Great trunks.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's, good
Awesome.
detail.
Thank you.
Yes. So, back to AEW Dynamite tonight.
Hang on. Let's task him. Let's task his custom figure making skills. Let's see if he can make a Raj Giri and Glenn Rubenstein custom figures, tag team edition.
No, let's not forget Justin.
Yeah, you can get
La Barbarian.
Yes, you can get a Carl figure from Aqua Teen Hunger Force and just modify that for Justin. It's
Just buy a Limp Bizkit one, right?
Oh yeah, Fred Durst.
Carl's pretty good though. That was good.
Don't know why that just popped up my head. So Josh Cardenia is saying next week Cody's opponent is Warhorse or Cardona? Question mark.
Who's that?
Is Cardona Zack Ryder. I don't think you beat Zack Ryder right off the bat.
No.
What's his name? Oh,
because he's a free agent now. Kurt Hawkins, he's in Impact. A lot of the free agents are now in Impact. Rusev still hasn't shown up anywhere. And really, no one could have shown up on Dynamite tonight. This was taped last week before these guys were free agents.
Oh.
So next week's episode will be the first.
I'm about to make the chat room go crazy, or maybe not. And this will be a good judgment if we should or not. Is now that Impact is taking some headlines and trending, does that mean we should cover it?
Oh man, like I'm doing a deep dive. I'm doing a deep dive into The Simpsons, Matt, on Disney Plus. Like I really need some evenings, free.
I still need to finish the Goonies.
Yeah, see.
But we'll keep an eye on it. If this isn't a 2-week thing, right now they've got the buzz is just them picking up these WWE guys. But if they build some strong storylines from it and it sustains, we can maybe start covering their pay-per-views. Been wanting to, so yeah.
James Potts, $2 saying, Abaddon, stay off social media, keep kayfabe alive. I think her social media, she's definitely not in character the entire time. Or maybe she is. Maybe if you envision that it's the character, it actually makes it kind of more interesting. Ethan Curtis, Buck99, saying, what teams do you think they're going to come up with? I'm assuming for the women's tournament.
Yeah.
8 teams, that's more than we've seen from the women's roster.
Yeah, Brandy and Allie, that's definitely going to be one. Who did they beat last week? Whoever they beat last week will probably be another.
Darn it.
Sheeta and... I don't know.
But they're going to be bringing in other girls that are going to get an opportunity. That's what's cool.
Maybe Ivelisse, and even though they wrestled tonight, Ivelisse and Diamante, they're good friends in real life.
Ivelisse is a badass.
Yeah.
Well, we had Chris Jericho talking to Alex Marvez saying he was annoyed about Orange Cassidy ruining his jacket last week, his $7,000 jacket. Mentioned that Luchasaurus isn't really a dinosaur, but they're going to make him extinct. And his jacket still smells like orange juice. Then we had Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the Blade in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And this went decently around the arena, with the Young Bucks winning via pinfall.
It did, but I don't know. Butcher and the Blade, man, I'm over it.
The match was pretty awesome, though. I mean, if you love this, the high flying, the Young Bucks style, this match was super fun, and that's double senton through the tables at the end to beat them. Was pretty extraordinary. So, I'm more of like an FTR style, but if you love the Young Bucks style, this match was awesome.
Then, after that, we had... It's funny, I keep opening the NXT tab and almost talking about NXT, but then we had Ivelisse versus Diamante. Women's match. Decent length of time. Diamante winning via pinfall. What do you think, Matt? I mean, we had the Big Swole commentary, or the video at some point. Talking, she was at home.
The match or the match?
She was talking about Baker. I mean, so it's interesting.
Real quick, what do you think about Diamante and Ivelisse?
Ivelisse should be on TV every single week. She should be in the top 5 immediately in that women's division. Immediately.
And that made no sense to me that she lost right off the bat. Again, unless they don't have plans for her.
Which I don't get, because they did that when they first brought her in too. I don't know. Is she a headache backstage? Maybe does she get heat with everybody?
That's always been the knock against her, is that she's had attitude issues and tough to deal with backstage. She got into a Twitter fight with Jack Evans, the AEW wrestler who he hasn't been on, but they got into it on Twitter. This was a few days ago, but granted, this was taped last week, so the Twitter feud happened after she had done this match, so one wasn't related to the other. But
so really quick, I know we're taking forever on this, but what was the Twitter beef?
So Jack Evans kind of blamed Ivelisse for his push ending in Lucha Underground, and then she went off saying like he was yelling in her face backstage, and then they just kind of went back and forth, that was it. He basically blames her for being let go from Lucha Underground, and she's saying that he acted inappropriately. I mean, inappropriately, like yelling.
Did she work as a booker there or something?
No, just as a wrestler.
So she had that kind of stroke to go up to whomever and say, "Hey, get rid of this guy."
I think probably because of that incident where he was he was yelling, and maybe she went and told. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter beefs are just. I mean,
that's why I ask you guys. I don't see any of them, so that's why I ask you guys.
If people were releasing diss tracks, I think this would take it to a whole other level. I mean, Tupac talking about he had sex with Biggie's wife. Eminem dissing Everlast because Everlast felt slighted when M passed him in a hotel lobby and didn't say hi to him. We got a good 6-minute song out of that D12 shown. I think we need to bring this back, even for people that aren't hip hop artists.
So I should clarify. Evans is claiming that he demanded that he be released after the argument with Ivelisse, and said that she had a difficult personality, which is why he wanted to leave. And then she said that he was screaming at her and legit tried to fight her when she was calmly talking to him about putting a match together. So
and released rhymes with Ivelisse. These diss tracks write themselves.
8 Mile. Do an 8 Mile themed version.
The end to 8 Mile is 15 minutes of the best film I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Elevated, and I'll even say this, more satisfying maybe because we were younger, even more satisfying than to me, any of the fights in Rocky. I will watch the last rap battles in 8 Mile over the end of Rocky any day.
Now you've gone too far.
I remember jumping up and down, after the 5th, 10th, 20th time watching Rocky. You know what I mean? Every time.
It never gets
knowing he's going to win. Still,
I am never tired. I can watch the last 3 battles in 8 Mile every day.
Yes.
The music in the Rocky IV with his fight with Drago, just awesome.
I'm not saying it's not close. I'm just putting it out there. So then, so Diamante won that via pinfall. But no, the thing with Swole talking about Baker, I don't like when it's like, hey, it's a women's match. Let's see what we can do to get more women. Like WWE is guilty of this as well. It's like, let it breathe, spread it out more throughout the show.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because I'm paying attention to Swole talking about Brittle Brittany's fragile ass. It's an exact quote.
That was pretty funny. I was disappointed, though. I was happy to see Diamante. She's impressive. But I was very disappointed to see it released.
Yeah, because regardless of the backstage stuff, in the ring, she has it all. She has the look, charisma, everything.
The whole package, absolutely.
Yeah. So, after that, we had Hangman Adam Page versus 5 from the Dark Order. Yeah. Yeah. So Page won.
The Dark Order. Even
Brody
Page can't elevate, the Dark Order. I think Hangman Page is one of their top superstars.
And Colt's got to get some gear, man. If Colt's hanging with the Dark Order, he can't just be the guy in the T-shirt.
Yeah. Brody Lee needs to get away from this.
What do you do with? I don't like Brody. I don't like Brody's gear either. By the way.
So they came out and they talked to Paige after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they started attacking him, and then FTR came out, and I like that. FTR helped clear the ring, and then they shared a beer with Adam Page. Then Omega came out, so it kind of tied in that storyline that Omega came out last, and then it kind of ended there. So they still building on that storyline.
So the main event: Chris Jericho and Jake Hager with Santana and Ortiz versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Many in the chat are saying that Falls Count Anywhere match should have been the main event, but as this main event, with Jericho and Hager getting the win, what did you think of this, Matt?
Awesome. I thought this was really, really good, actually. Yeah, what did Jim Ross call him during this match? Did you guys catch how many times he said his name wrong?
Oh, Jungle Boy Jack Perry?
Yeah.
Yes. Why does he refuse to just call him Jungle Boy?
It's one thing if everyone decided, okay, now you're going to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And I could see him transitioning to that at some point, because at some point the Jurassic stuff's going to, it's a little corny. It's going to, where it's
It holds them back. They don't need it, honestly, anymore.
Yeah. As soon as Luchasaurus cuts a promo saying 35 million years ago, it's like, oh man, come on.
Yeah.
I can't take this seriously. I can't take you wanting to kill someone else coming up seriously when you're talking about 35 million years ago.
Really?
Wait, but I mean, Matt Hardy's.
Really quick, I apologize, Glenn. But this is an example of things that pop the boys. And back in the day, they used to use that as a barometer. And WWE Attitude Era. If you could pop the boys backstage, then chances are it would be a hit in the ring or on TV somehow, right? That's just not always the truth. And I guarantee you this is something that pops the boys. Wouldn't it be funny if we made Luchasaurus say this? And I could see some people snickering at it and whatever, but not when he looks the way he looks and how I want to view him as a killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, The Rock doing the people's elbow was to pop the boys, and that worked. Him doing talking 65 million years ago, not 35. Thanks, Titan is back in the chat. I just think it's cringy.
Good, big difference.
Yeah, I know.
So here's the thing: Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy feels to me like something out of Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, and I like that about it. I like that it doesn't take it as seriously. But yeah, I think you really got to suspend disbelief to get that into the main event. And it's like the Matt Hardy thing when he starts talking about, I've been around since the dawn of time. It's kind of like, okay, if you're immortal, why do you care about professional wrestling this much? Like an interview with Like, now granted, in Interview with the Vampire, Lestat did become a rock star at some point, but that was probably just to like find people to eat, you know.
We can ask that about anybody's character. The Undertaker. Why would he want to be a pro wrestler? He's an Undertaker in real life.
Or Kane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
If he's from hell.
Kane was come. Oh, well, yeah. There's bigger fish to fry for him. You would think, yes.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to.
Somebody in the chat room. Somebody in the chat room as we speak is typing it. Kane came back because his brother burned him as a young boy. That's why.
Then Marco Stunt interfered in this match. Did we do the finish? Jericho, a bat got introduced. Jericho hit Luchasaurus with the bat and he pinned Luchasaurus. So.
And after
The
Orange Cassidy.
the bat has a name.
Oh, what's the bat's name?
Don't you remember?
I don't remember.
I do not.
That was like Theo or Tad or something like that. He's named his bat.
Huh.
Oh well, chat room will know it. Go ahead.
Very Negan-ish.
Yes.
What's Negan's bat's name?
It's a woman's name. I can't remember what it is.
I'm forgetting. All right.
Yeah. And then Orange Cassidy came out with the best friends. Stare down.
The best friends.
Did I say best friends? What did I say?
Yeah, you absolutely did. And this is what I mean with the goofiness at the top, you know.
Yes.
The best friends, Orange Cassidy, 65 million years ago, Marco Stunt.
He's right. I hate saying it. I'm a total homer. I admit it for every time we do this for AEW. But he's right. I don't like it either.
So was it Marco Stunt that got in the time machine and brought Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to the present? Is that kayfabe the story?
I think so.
Okay.
Or they're just crazy. They have split personality disorders or something. Right? How do you explain this?
That would be a WWE thing to explain it, to give Luchasaurus a rebrand. Oh, he had a mental delusion. He thought he was a dinosaur.
Yeah. You know? So tons of people in the chat are saying Lucille. So
that sounds right.
Jericho's bat's name is Floyd.
Oh.
Ah, Floyd.
Tina Miller, $2 saying it's a shame about that match with so-and-so and so-and-so because Alan Angels is very good. The one with Adam Page and with 5 from the Dark Order, Alan Angels.
Yeah. The match itself was, it was good, just the goofy gimmicks. And so next week it's going to be 5-on-5 Inner Circle versus...
not the Wrestler 5?
No.
It's confusing.
It is, because 5 was in action.
5-on-5. So that was AEW tonight. Not a bad show. Better than NXT.
I thought AEW, it was super entertaining.
Yeah. But NXT finished.
Yeah.
Let's get into NXT.
Okay, so we talked about there's going to be some triple threat matches. Keith Lee is dropping the North American title after winning both titles against Adam Cole 2 weeks ago. So he's still going to be the NXT main champion. He's dropping the North American title. There's going to be a series of triple threats beginning tonight. The winners of those will go into TakeOver on August 22nd in a ladder match to crown the new NXT North American champion. We open tonight with Dexter Lumis versus Danity Kane. Killian Dane. This, I don't want to diss Killian Dane too much. It's easy, right, to say that Killian Dane.
Say?
No, I just think that, come on, we knew this was Dexter Lumis was going to get the win, and I think Dexter Lumis needs to beat more prominent guys if they're really trying to establish him as a powerhouse.
Okay.
Didn't they haven't just beat Roderick Strong like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. And that's been good. I just thought Killian, this was kind of a placeholder. Who do we got that...
You don't think the fact that he's beating such a big mammoth of a man is impressive, though, still?
What's Killian Dane's record, though?
It's not it's the visual.
This is but it's a TV match to get Lumis over. Again, my problem was more they didn't make the title relinquishing a bigger deal. That should have been the opening segment, 15 minutes, setting it up.
Yeah. Oh, what was the Lance Archer segment? Sorry, everyone's saying we missed
the Lance Archer. There was that backstage. How did we forget that?
Jeez.
Because it's just all in through the eyes and just out.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, there's this backstage segment where Lance Archer was beating a bunch of chumps, and he threw one guy into the ceiling, just tossed him in the ceiling, threw another guy into a trash can. It was pretty awesome.
All right, real quick. That's how you book a big man. That's how you book a bleep kicker, a monster. All right, especially a monster heel. You don't have to have a match all the time. You don't have to have promos if they're not good talking. These kind of things is what you do with it.
Yeah. Well, more
He
of
looked
this
awesome.
because he had lost a lot of steam. So I think more of this
Yes,
to get
he
him back
has.
on track.
Yes. Sorry. NXT.
So
He should do more of this for a while before putting him back in a match. Just beating up chumps, beating up people in the crowd.
Go back to the Jake the Snake's ring or whatever that was, right? You
Yeah.
can do that too.
I would say the same thing for Dexter Lumis. I think they could have done a creative vignette that would have kept his momentum going more than Killian Dane, who's not had the most stellar win record. I just don't think this really did anything for Dexter tonight to kind of keep his momentum going. Whereas I think what they've done with him and Roderick Strong in the past, I feel like they've just done a better job building the character. This was not an opening match that got people excited.
Well, no, it's a big monster in the ring. He's not going to have fast action, and Loomis is not a fast-paced wrestler either. But again, it looks impressive to take down a big giant like that. The visual of it, again, that's all that's for. It's a visual.
I agree with you, Matt, because this is a TV match. You don't want him beating the big opponents quite yet. You want to just keep giving him momentum. You know, he's clearly a character they have a lot of faith in and that they're building. So
absolutely,
this is still a crescendo in his storyline.
Yeah.
But I think this would have been a better cool down match. And I hate to say this about my beloved Breezango, but Everrise versus Breezango, like to have this follow that, I just think that and Breezango are Mounties now. I mean, it's good they got a win. They looked good in this match. They're still over. People still like them, but I felt that both of these matches should have been sprinkled later in the card in between some other stuff.
They should have went straight into that first, they should have went into that triple threat match to start off on because I
think that would have been good.
They're going to get killed in that first hour. I think AEW is going to destroy him in that first hour by doing it. Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead. Real quick, here's my question on ratings though. Who's to say that what the previous week did isn't what's responsible for bringing viewers to the table to watch the beginning 15 minutes of that next show?
Well, that's usually.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, usually if you finish hot, you usually start hot the following week. And NXT did not finish hot last week. I mean, they got destroyed last week. So
I don't know. It was a riveting episode of NCIS that I turned on 5 minutes before NXT started, and I think that probably, maybe lifted the ratings a little bit this week.
It's like any TV show, right? If they leave you wanting more, you're excited to watch it that next week.
Definitely.
So, sorry, just scrolling back to make sure.
So yeah, Breezango. By this point, I would have, if I wasn't doing the show and I was only had to watch one, I would have switched over for a while.
I thought that they dressed up as the Mounties.
That was cool that they came out to the old entrance song.
Justin Lopez, $2 saying Everrise and Thatcher are channel changers for me.
I agree, 100%.
I put Oni Lorcan on that list too. You can say he's a good worker and whatever, but
should be on TV. Sorry.
I think
one thing though, if they're gonna dress up like the Mounties, they should have had like the cattle prod and done some.
Yes.
Go all the way with it.
Yes. I bet you they wanted to, but somebody's like, "Oh, we can't do that."
Can't have electrocution on TV.
Yeah, I bet you.
I think they should have. I agree they should open with the triple threat, and this next match should have gone second, which was Solia was out with Robert Stone of the Robert Stone brand, and again, this was a chance for Shotzi to pick up a win and abuse Robert Stone a little bit. Leah got the loss. This is a good place for Shotzi, and even a good place for Leah. I'm really, really glad that Rhea Ripley is nowhere near Robert Stone right now in this storyline.
Oh yeah.
She's above this.
That would have brought
it. He's above this. He is above this.
Yes, he is. It is doing something for Aaliyah, so that.
It is
good for her. Mercedes Martinez attacked Shotzi after they had to stare down.
That's another good. Again, there's another. I'm not just saying this blowing smoke. Or right? People always say we exaggerate the women's division and stuff like that. At least they say that to we're not exaggerating. This right here is yet another good storyline that I want to see. I know both characters. I know what their motivations are for the most part. And they both have completely different looks. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that upcoming Shotzi versus Mercedes.
V Infuso, $5, saying it's a crime that Matt never got the TNA championship. Good content, though, guys. Well, it's a consolation, Matt. You have this podcast, even though you never held the TNA championship.
Do you think Mercedes Martinez, if she's going with the Robert Stone brand, is that a step down for her with how that,
Yes.
how they've been using it?
Is she going with the brand, or is she just going after Shotzi?
Well, they had that backstage segment later
that's
where
right.
it seemed like
Where she was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it is for her. She's better than that.
yeah.
Got a little bit of a hype video package on Isaiah Swerve Scott. Talked about his music career and his wrestling career. Sent a message to NXT Cruiserweight Champion Santos X Escobar. And says the next time you step in the ring, there'll be a new champ. Then we have the triple threat ladder match. The match that should have opened the show, the qualifier for that North American ladder match at TakeOver. We had Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed versus Roderick Strong. And this match was a banger. This absolutely should have opened the show. But I was surprised that Bronson Reed won.
Me too. But that's good, right? Isn't this good? That somebody, you know what I mean?
I thought it was really good. Just because Johnny Gargano has been in these title matches forever. He did not need to win.
Yes.
And to an extent, so is Roderick Strong. So it brings up someone new.
Yep.
And this match
100%.
was really, really good. I need to watch
fantastic.
it again because this was happening at the same time as the Young Bucks match.
Yes, it was. This is something. This is the match that you do want to rival a Young Bucks match. To be fair to NXT, not that they're sitting there watching it live and go, okay, now let's do this match now to rival Young Bucks. It just so happened it worked that way. But good Lord, this was good counter programming.
Yeah, I had them side by side for this because usually I'll have like one on my iPad and then one
That's
on
how
the
I do
TV.
it.
Yeah.
This, they were side by side. I'm like, it's like one eyeball on each. It was pretty
I've
tough.
got that. I've got one AirPod in one ear, and I'm watching the TV volume on the other, and I'm switching back and forth.
It's tough. It's tough watching 4 hours of wrestling in two.
It is.
It's like I'm not one of those people that, a lot of people listen to podcasts on 2x speed. Like, I can't do that. But when watching two things at once, it's very hard to pay attention.
And they don't go to commercial at the same time.
No.
Like WCW and WWF, they would. And so you can't get out for a break to, get another water or, just get a snack. It's just sitting there watching two shows at exactly the same time.
It's an iPad, Raj. You can bring it in the bathroom with you.
Yeah. Well, not the TV. You're only watching one.
But you wait till the commercial's on the TV and you bring the iPad in the bathroom.
But they do the picture-in-picture. And during the picture-in-picture in the main event, they had Matt Hardy in the crowd
that's right.
watching. So stuff happens.
If they would have opened with the triple threat, then gone to the women's match, and then gone to the Breezango match, the momentum of tonight would have been entirely different.
I agree.
So this triple threat, Bronson Reed, that was a surprise. I'm really with Gargano and Roderick. So with Undisputed Era, are they going to follow Adam Cole to perhaps SmackDown, or do you think they're going to stay in NXT?
I hope not for his sake. For his sake, I hope not.
Yeah.
Agree 100%. I think as soon as Vince sees their size, they're not going to get far, and then he's going to lump Adam Cole with them. I think Adam Cole has the best chance by himself.
So, Raj, I know you're excited. Oh, I'm sorry.
Vince also has this affinity for when somebody really likes one of the 4 people in a group to go purposely find another one in that group and push that other one instead. So I don't want them going up to the roster.
Yeah.
Sorry. There you go with yours first.
All right. Next thing, remind me to never touch Glenn's iPad.
I wipe these things down. I buy the little lens alcohol wipes by the thousands.
I don't get it. Why?
Well, because I was talking about you can bring the iPad into the bathroom, Yeah, but okay, not to get too off on a tangent here, but I think whenever somebody's like, here's my phone, and I'm like, I think everybody brings their phone in the bathroom. I'm not touching anyone's phone. Yeah. That thing is just swarming with germs.
Yep.
Here's the other one you were bringing up. Steve Marchicelli was Karrion Kross a good fit for a Goldberg undefeated storyline?
Yes.
I think in a lot of ways it would almost seem too much like a copy with Karrion Kross, but I think you still have him undefeated.
What time out? So is that what? But that's not fair. Does that mean nobody gets to be undefeated ever again?
No, you still have him undefeated, but I mean, are you doing like where you're counting the streak? Like WWE has not done that yet, where they're like 8-0 or 15-0 until except for Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. They never did that.
In his losses.
Right.
But that's why that's stupid. In real sports, they would be counting. And then guess what? The next season would start. Some team gets hot. Like they've been 37-0 on the every single year in basketball. Teams go on streaks. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I think they should use it more.
Yeah.
So, Raj, match of the night for you: Timothy Thatcher versus Oney Lorcan.
I don't mean to make your guys' head explode, but Timothy Thatcher, when he walks to the ring, he does it in a very Stone Cold style. As far as the grimace on his face and again, I don't think he's anything like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but as far as his swagger when he walks to the ring, that it just reminds me of that. Like, it's this intensity.
I'm going to go back and watch for that then. I want to try to watch it through that purview. Maybe I'm missing something because I can't take a guy named Timothy seriously. As a wrestler.
Yeah.
Timothy, your dinner's late. You're late for dinner, Timmy. I butchered my own joke.
Yeah.
It's not Timmy. I mean, Timmy would be the worst.
Still just not the same. You don't do it like Matthew Morgan just doesn't sound the same, right?
No, it's terrible. Terrible. I would argue Matt Morgan's terrible. I hated that was my real name.
But Matty Morgan's kind of like a guy from Boston. Matty Morgan,
That is what my friends up in North used to call me.
See? Where we got else? I mean, so Timothy Thatcher won this match.
The one thing I like about with Timothy Thatcher, his matches, they look like there's pain going on, like they're hurting each other. Sure. It's not like a dance.
Put it on the UK show.
Yeah, it is very UK-ish, but it's a hard-hitting style. Just if you don't care who wins or loses, if you don't care about if they don't have the charisma or the character, then that's the thing that's lacking.
So Oney Lorcan could not believe he lost.
Well, he's the only one.
Robert Stone and Aaliyah backstage. Mercedes Martinez walks up, says she needs someone to handle her contract, set up big matches, and do the crap she doesn't care about, the stuff outside the ring. Don't we all need someone like that in our life? That way she can focus on what she does best, hurting people in the ring. Got it. Stone says she's crystal clear. He's her man. But Mercedes warned him not to overstep his boundaries because she'll permanently break both of his legs. Understood? Done. Stone tells Aaliyah to help him up, and she does. Stone offers his hand for a shake to welcome Mercedes to the Robert Stone brand. Mercedes shakes his hand and walks off. Stone and Aaliyah celebrate, but Stone goes back down selling his ankle injury.
Things are looking up for Robert Stone.
Yes.
Looking down for Martinez.
Back from the break, we got a video package from Finn Balor. Took shots at Keith Lee over the NXT North American title. Also took shots at Dexter Lumis and Timothy Thatcher, revealing that they're going to face off in a triple threat qualifier for TakeOver next week. Who do you think wins that match between Finn, Dexter, and your boy Timothy Thatcher, Matt?
Lumis.
Yeah, I think Lumis.
It does seem like Lumis. Finn would be great to have him in the ladder match because he could do some really cool stuff. But, right off the bat, Lumis and Bronson, those aren't exactly the most intriguing names, so we'll see who else they add. But, I mean, if Lumis ends up winning.
Absolutely. The main event, Karrion Kross versus Dominik Dijakovic. And Kross got the entrance. Kross owned this match for the most part. Keith Lee coming out like a Rocky IV situation. Is he going to stop the match? Ultimately, he was fading and went out. Dijakovic did. Kross getting the win. I mean, I like that this was a good, longer domination match. It wasn't a squash in the traditional sense, but, I mean, you can't watch this and not feel like Kross isn't a killer, to borrow a phrase.
What do you want me to say to that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's like this match that we did. That Dijakovic had a little bit of offense in this, but yeah, I thought that this was good. I like the way that they incorporated Lee into it.
This wasn't good. This was real. This was really good.
Yeah.
This is such a strong ending. This is stuff that you were talking about earlier, right, Raj? The first hour of this show versus what we're watching here is just night and day.
Yeah, they finished super strong. I thought, because it started when Cross was just killing him outside the ring with the steps, and then he was just bashing him. It just felt violent. It felt brutal. It made Cross look like a killer. Pun intended.
He's so intense, intense.
Jewel Slinger 499 saying Cross reminds me of a younger Randy Orton in a lot of ways. Didn't realize how big he was until he was standing face to face with Dominic Dijakovic tonight. I'm gonna say I think for this modern era, Cross is a better version of Randy's gimmick right now.
We'll have to see when Cross cuts a
Whoa.
promo.
With Randy Orton, you look at everything we know about Randy Orton. Look at Twitter Randy Orton. Look at Randy Orton in the promos he cuts. When Randy becomes the I hear voices guy and he's banging on the ring and doing all the old stuff, like it's a little bit of a throwback. Like we like it because we're nostalgic for it. But I'm saying no one at home is like, oh, there Randy goes again. The voices are talking to him. Oh, he's conjuring it. What's he gonna do? RKO out of nowhere. Like we see these things coming. With Cross, it's still fresh. It's still new. It's more legitimate because Randy's been a little not watered down, but had some of the edges softened over the years.
He's more dangerous.
Yeah, Cross is more dangerous because with Randy, like Randy's been a face, Randy's been a heel, Randy's been in all these situations. With Cross, this is just pure aggression and danger, and the way they sell it with the entrance. I like that there's still some mystery here. Like we don't have him cutting promos. Randy's cut promos from every different angle you can imagine at this point. So that's what I'm saying. It's better. Randy has the nostalgia, but with Cross, Cross is in his prime right now.
I just don't know what they're comparing it to because I can go back to Randy's rookie year wrestling Christian. And everybody on Monday Night Raw watching it and going, their jaws are on the ground.
Sure.
He's 1,000 times better than Karrion Kross in that ring. 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think as far as a killer character, like a dangerous, just destructive character.
Randy's not a killer.
I know. Nuts. I think that the better comparison might be Brock Lesnar back in the day. But
yes,
Brock was still better. Cross is great for now, but Brock was Brock.
What it's like?
Feel free to watch his debut. Spike. Hitting Spike Dudley with like 20 power bombs, dude. That was just.
Okay, but let me get
it. Was it like
Maven versus Allison in a hardcore match, something to that effect? And Brock jumped a guardrail, came in there, Paul Heyman, and just crushed everybody.
Yeah, he smashed Jeff Hardy earlier on. There was someone big. Maybe it was Rikishi. There was someone big.
That was later. That was like 2 weeks later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give you a comparison, Matt, that you're absolutely going to understand this language. When Randy Orton came out, he was like Axl Rose. Welcome to the jungle. You're going to die. Like, this guy looked like he'd lived some shit. He had some serious attitude going on. You believed everything that came out of his mouth. Flash forward 4 years later, Axl's in the white leather suit, sitting there with a candelabra singing November Rain. And you're like, okay, maybe Axl's not living the hardcore life anymore. Maybe
Axl was never really that.
Randy never came out that way as a rookie.
But he had that intensity. Right. He had that hunger. He had that youth to him. And I'm saying Cross is like then Kurt Cobain or Alice in Chains come along, and you go, okay, these younger guys are feeling it. They've got that hunger, that drive, that passion.
Randy wasn't introduced like that, though. Yeah, Randy wasn't introduced that way.
No, but I'm saying the intensity of it. The intensity.
Even when he was first introduced, he wasn't intense. He turned heel while he was injured. He would do these corny vignettes with him in a sling, giving a countdown of when he's coming back.
Update.
That's not the era most people think of.
But that's how he was introduced. You know what All right.
Guns N' Roses originally was a band, the LA Guns and the Hollywood Rose. They got together. We don't need to know the complete backstory. We all know Welcome to the Jungle, and it's a bop, a banger. That's all that matters. My point stands.
Of all time.
It really is. It really, really is. So what else we got with the super chats?
Here, real quick, Chris Jericho's cruise. It was supposed to sail in February of next year in 2021. That has been postponed to next October 21st to October 25th. So I think most people saw that coming.
Yes.
And then Raw, coming off of Extreme Rules, the Extreme Rules actually did get a lot of buzz online, like Google searches for Rey Mysterio.
For his eye. Yep.
For his eye. And that did nothing for the ratings. Raw did 1.6 million viewers on the USA Network, second lowest of all time behind last week, just up 4%. And
oh my God.
just
What's
you
going to
know,
happen?
it's getting bad, and we're not in sports yet.
Is wrestling going to die?
Well, they got the guaranteed contract. Well, actually, the contracts aren't always so guaranteed. Like, God, I want to say it's, say it's TNT dropped soccer recently, even though they had a deal. So.
Wow, really? Major League Soccer?
No, not major. It's like a smaller version. I think it was only doing like 400,000 viewers or something, but they were able to get out of that contract. So, TV networks usually have a way to get out of them. That's not going to happen with Raw on USA, I wouldn't think. The bigger thing I'd worry about down the road is if USA is not producing any hits and has to just rely on WWE, if they just drop the USA Network, because now they got the Peacock streaming service. Cable is kind of dying.
It is.
Outside of sports, nothing's really, and news, nothing else is really big. So,
I think the NBA. You think the NBA will help or hurt?
Oh, that's gonna hurt. I mean, it'll help. What do you mean? It's gonna hurt wrestling.
Like I thought maybe bring people back to some semblance of TV viewing habits again. Maybe click through the channels. Oh crap! Hey, wrestling's on. Let me check it out.
Oh crap! Wrestling's on.
Well, if AEW can come up with a hot storyline and promote that during the commercials when the games on TNT.
Yes.
Because, they had that golf game with, it was Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods against...
oh my God, that did monster numbers.
That did monster, and they had AEW commercials in it, but it was just the standard stuff, even though Mike Tyson was going to be on that week. And if they had advertised, like, watch Mike Tyson on AEW Dynamite.
Oh, they did it? They didn't show Mike Tyson was going to be on?
No, it was just your standard AEW commercial.
Huh.
And even the Super Bowl, when they were showing the Fox commercials, if they would have said, if WWE would have just said, we're going to get Goldberg on next week's show because he was on like 2 weeks later, we'll have Goldberg on, advertise that during the Super Bowl. But
it's weird. They're not doing it.
Anyway, NBA is coming back, and there's going to be weeks where you got NBA, NFL, and NHL against Raw because they're all going to have games on Monday nights, and those are going to be rough.
Yep.
Raj.
Yep.
Does it? I apologize. It's really heat for you guys. Does it ever dip below 1 in the next year? What's your prediction?
If there is a debate and NFL, like a Biden-Trump debate and NFL and NBA or something that night, I think it drops below 1. Or it's going to be very close. It'll maybe hard to imagine below 1, but it used to be hard to imagine below 2. So
It used to be hard to imagine below 3.
Yeah. I mean, every time you hit the breaking points and then they start settling in it. But once you drop below 1, I mean, oh my gosh. I can't see it, but if there's a debate and everything, the perfect storm, then it's definitely possible.
Nelson Buck 99 saying he just took his iPad to the bathroom. Do not recommend.
He paid money to tell us that.
That's funny.
Come on, Nate Dogg.
All right.
There we have it, folks. So Friday night, the three of us.
NWO. It'd be NWO Raj, I think.
I got some Bud Light with lime left, so bust those out for Friday night. Talking about SmackDown. Until then, he's at BP Matt Morgan. He's at Raj Giri _303. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. We'll catch you back here Friday on the Wrestling Podcast.